Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're exploring a shortcut method to deal with a tournament question. I hope you'll find it useful and fun. Let's go ahead and begin. For this particular question, we're given a variable a expressed in a fraction of third form. From there, we are going to find the value of a polynomial expression in terms of a. A direct substitution of the a value into this expression is just too much hassle. So instead, we are going to find a shortcut. We're going to focus on this fraction and to find a way to turn it into something that we can use. So let's go ahead and copy down what we have. I have square root of 2 minus 1 over square root 2 plus 1. So one way to simplify this fraction is to multiply it by the conjugate. So on the denominator, I'm going to multiply that by square root 2 minus 1. And on the numerator, I'm going to do the same. If I do that, then I can make use of the formula of a squared minus b squared is equal to a plus b, a minus b. So therefore, what I have now on the denominator will be square root 2 square minus 1 square. And on the numerator, I would have square root 2 multiplied by square root 2, which is 2, square root 2 minus 1, which is square root 2, minus 1 multiplied by square root 2, that will be another square root 2 and plus 1. So if I put everything together, what I have now is the denominator will be equal to 2 minus 1, which is 1. And on the numerator, I have 2 plus 1, which is 3, minus 2 times square root of 2. In other words, I have a equal to 3 minus 2 square root of 2. At this point, I have basically worked out a value of a where I can substitute into this part right here and try to get the final value. However, if I do that, I know that I would still have a whole bunch of the square root 2 values in this expression that I have to deal with. So instead, let's find a way to see whether there's an easier way to get this done. Let's focus on what I have here. I have a equal to 3 minus 2 square root 2. If I move 3 to the left hand side, I have a minus 3 equals to negative 2 square root 2. If I compare a minus 3 with what I have here, I see a whole bunch of a squared minus 6a. So what I can try to figure out is what happens if I put a square here on both sides. I have a minus 3 square, which is obviously equal to minus 2 square root 2 square, which will be equal to 4 times 2. That's going to be 8. Let's go ahead and expand out the bracket on the left hand side. I have a square minus 6a plus 9 is equal to 8. From here, if I move everything to the left, I have a square minus 6a plus 1 is equal to 0. If I take a closer look, now I have a squared minus 6a, which is a very common feature in this expression. So I'm going to make use of that and see I'm going to make use of that and see what I can do about it. Let me copy down this polynomial fraction at the bottom so I don't have to keep going up and down the screen. So what I have is a squared minus 6a plus 10 over a cubed minus 6a squared plus a minus 12. And I'm trying to relate this fraction to this expression right here. And instead of copying it the way it is, I'm going to try to break up the numerator. So what I have now is a squared minus 6a plus 1 plus 9. put a red color bracket here. What I'm doing essentially is instead of writing down 10, I write it as 1 plus 9. On the denominator again, I have a red color bracket, a squared minus 6a plus 1 minus 12. And if you compare this part with what I have at the top, we know that both this value is equal to 0. In other words, what I have now on the fraction is essentially 0 plus 9 with negative 12. This fraction now becomes 9 over 12 negative, which is equal to negative of 3 over 4. And that's the final answer for today's question. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a good day. Take care.